So we painted this scene on a workshop on the membership of Tier 2, and everyone did really well, and it came out okay, but I knew I struggled on the building on the left-hand side, and that was because of lack of understanding. So what I did is I did a sketch in my sketchbook. I started to do a daily sketch to improve my drawing. Not always a sketch, sometimes watercolours and gouache. And I was really pleased how that came out, and I had a lot more understanding about the rooftops on the building, which gave me a lot of trouble. So I wanted to have a go at painting this, and I actually preferred the composition of this with the building taking more of a prominent position. So what I did is I projected this drawing onto a piece of watercolour paper, which was 20 inches by 16 inches, so a little bit bigger than I normally paint. You can see my state-of-the-art equipment there. It's just a basic projector that you buy for second-hand on Facebook, which I did, and a toilet roll holder, well, it's actually a kitchen roll, to hold it in place, but it does the job. So I had my drawing on there, and I just put some music on, nice relaxing music, and just went for it. So because we'd already painted this on the members workshop, that I thought I didn't need to necessarily do a demo of talk through it because I've already done that. But I will sort of talk you through what went wrong with this and what went well with it and so on. So this is the first wash going on, which is basically painting the light areas first. So I think I didn't want to have too much in the way of white paper left, that I wanted to get an overall warmth, so I went with more sort of yellow and sort of red tones. So I left the white for the boat because that's kind of the focal point really, where the sunlight hits the boat and the side of that building. So much stronger paint now. I'm going for contrast, light against dark. So real thick paint here using probably neutral tint, burnt umber, and some pale orange there. So warm but dark. And just thinking, I did my sketch in my sketchbook not that long ago, and still fresh in my memory, all of those complicated rooftops, the buildings built onto each other and so on. And use plenty of water to let the washes run into each other. This building doesn't want to dominate. I did struggle still with this building. That gave me troubles, but it came out all right in the end. But I need to go nice and dark with it and connect it to this building here. And it's the shadow going across there. And I see I kind of invented those red canopies there, but it's nice to get some colour into the scene. But the important thing for me is connection all the way through, and working large, like this, it's quite tricky, to be fair, because you've got to get around quite a large area. So I'm using much bigger brushes. Still a Skoda Perla, but I think it's a size 18 or 20 or something. And I've got some Hake brushes as well I used in the beginning. But I'm really conscious of that bead to make sure the wash stays alive, so I can paint one area into the next area. And at this stage, I probably started overthinking a little bit, that worrying too much. Oh, does it look right? Just keep going to the end. Those windows are in shadow, so they were just too light. So I used a bit of gouache just to melt them into the background, and I was starting to worry and thinking, I've got the same issue here again. That building is giving me trouble, but I know how it comes out, so I'm relaxed. It's fine that I've already painted this, so it's okay. So I was starting to get a sense of sunlight. Make sure I got my tonal values. The wash on the other side of that building wasn't dark enough initially, so I've gone over it again. It's not always great to have to paint areas again, so if you can get it the correct tonal value first off, better, but it doesn't always happen. The boats don't need huge amounts of detail. What else is going to be floating on the water with long poles sticking up? They're going to be boats, so I'm not an expert on boats, so I just get the overall shape and so on. But what is important is connection and light. So lifting out a little bit of paint on that wall there just to place where the windows are going to be. But again, because they're in the shadows, they're lost really. So that's got to be placed in damp. Hard edges there because so I want dry paper to get those sharp edges on those windows, because that's more contrast than the light. So constantly thinking about, is the paper damp? Is it dry? Do I need a hard edge, soft edge? Colour wise, I suppose they're all sort of warm browns and maybe some blues in there in the shadows. I struggle with this reflection. I normally just go for keeping it a simple colour, but I thought, I'll one of the members put some colour in their reflections, and I quite liked it, so I thought I'd have a go. So a bit of lifting out, and I ended up just spraying a load of water on it because I wasn't happy with it. I thought I'd overworked it, messed it up. But the spray bottle gets you out of trouble a lot with watercolour, and certainly painting loose watercolours like this. But just, if something's not going quite right, you know, just wash it off and see what happens. You know, you might get lucky, and I think I did on this one. So those edges are just a little bit too hard, so I'm just softening them. Obviously, because I've sped it up, it might not show where I sprayed the water on, but at some point I sprayed quite a lot of water on those reflections. But it did actually work okay. I had to improvise a little bit to break up that foreground a little bit because it needed something there. So what's different on this to the workshop demo that made less of the buildings on the right hand side? There's just something there, just acts as a bit of a stops the eye going off the page basically. And as we discussed on the workshop, painting those distant objects, you know, we don't know what they are, it's just shapes, light and dark, just adds a bit of interest. So at that stage I think I needed to just dry the paper because I was, you know, worried I was going to overwork it. So get back onto dry paper, start adding some details, and then, you know, you might find you add these details in and the painting's finished. So and I think with the reflections, you know, I didn't want to lose that nice wash, you know, which I thought was a disaster, but actually it came out okay. I wanted to put a boat in there because I think it needed to break that up a little bit. So lifting out a few little bits of highlights on the water there. And, you know, we're getting right near the end of the painting here now. It just needs some figures, you know, a little bit of gouache just to put a few highlights in, a suggestion of detail. So a few figures in there, and so I'll need to put some shadows to anchor those figures to the ground. And obviously the figures, hopefully I've got them the right sort of size. It just makes it obviously look like a fairly big yacht and big buildings and so on, but you know, it looks okay, so I'm quite happy with those. There's maybe a market or something under those under that canopy there. So that was pretty much it. A few birds in the sky, you know, harbour scene, final check. And I had to sort of just say to myself, you know, it'd be so easy to overwork this, but I felt I was missing something in the foreground. So those boys there just helped to lead in, and actually added a bit of colour, dotted a bit more red about. Red always looks nice in paintings, because overall it's a warm painting. The red actually worked quite well, I think. So just a few little bits of gouache, a little sparkle here, there and everywhere, not too much. And I actually put a sail in on that one as well to balance it. This is where I now have to start talking to myself. Come on, leave it. You're overworking it. You know, just don't lose the freshness. And it's so difficult to actually see the painting as a finished scene that you know, it actually turned out really well in the end, I think, and I was really pleased with it. But at this stage, you know, I'm thinking it's a disaster. But you know, it's just crazy. You know, it's what we have to remember as artists. We can't see our own work. Best thing to do is sign it, call it finished, and I actually put it in an mount, and I've got a frame for this, so take the tape off. Now it's finished, so pop it in a mount, in a frame, and there we go, finished painting. So that was the process from going from the workshop. So those of you on tier 2 of the website, check out that workshop video. It's the full demo of how I painted it from start to finish, with commentary obviously. But that was working on a larger scale, going for something slightly more polished. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and if you decide to give it a go, good luck, and I'll see you on the next video.